Good evening, good evening, everybody. Um, Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, June 9th, and it's been one heck of a day. Let's just say that. so, um, didn't call anyone a name. Oh, well, how is everybody tonight? Hope you guys are all doing wonderfully. It was kind of a busy week for me. So I didn't get to finish my test tulip block. So that is what I am going to be working on tonight. I did get a huge chunk of it done, though. At least I got the bottom part done with all these curves. But now I have to finish the top. And I was going to try and rush to finish the top and then get the actual pieces cut. But then I said, you know what? Why am I rushing and rushing and rushing? Let's just do this live. So that is what I'll be working on tonight. But first of all, let's say hello to everybody. So hello, Ms. Linda Faust. Hey, Donna Hoskins. We were kind of a little bit chatting, sort of, earlier. Sorry, if you got multiple notifications on your phone, whatever device you're using, yeah, this computer was doing something very weird. And instead of starting the live stream, it kept replicating the live, and it might have been sending out notifications, multiple notifications to you. So if you got multiple notifications, well, congratulations, because you know it's working. But I do apologize that it was doing something very weird. Let's see. Hello, Mr. John Sang. How are you? Where's your intro? Actually, Donna, you were talking to me in the chat live. I wasn't actually live just then, so that's why there was no intro. And the intro came a little later. It won't be long. Hey, Ms. Remo, how you doing, girl? Thanks for the reminder of the thumbs up to everybody. Long time no see. Hope Dad's okay. Hi, Jackie. Hello, Miss Kim. Let's see now the chat bot. Okay, so there's your intro. People talking to each other. Let's see. Hi, Christy. And people talking to each other. Okay, so exclamation project will give you an idea of what the project is. All right, so tonight's project again is based upon this ruler here. Oh, sorry, let me switch to the overhead camera here. And so this is the quick curve ruler, or the QCR Mini. And what it does is it helps you do this drunkard's path block here. Now this is a 4-inch drunkard's path block, in which it'll be a 3-inch finish size. The pattern that I'm actually doing comes from, where did I put the book? Comes from this book here, which is called the Mini Wonderful Curves. And that is the actual quilt, or example of the quilt. Now, I did do a different, or I have done some of the other patterns. I've done, where is it? Well, the quilt that you see behind me is based upon one of the other patterns here. So if you, whoops, sorry. That means this one's gonna go up too. Let's see if I can find the pattern. I know I can find it. There it is. So the quilt behind me is based upon this pattern here, which is called Breezy Day. the infamous mustard yellow background fabric. If you joined us on Zoom, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I will be continuing on with this pattern here. I call it the Tulip block, but the pattern is called Early Riser. I call this the Tulip block. These blocks are kind of huge though, and I didn't realize how big they were. So the quilt behind me is kind of, I used the same ruler, just kind of modified the pattern a little bit to make it into an actual quilt. So this quilt is about a throw size. I think it's about 40 by 60 or so. Kind of big, kind of decent throw size. Well, maybe not a throw size for me, but yeah, it's pretty decent. Okay. Sorry. Let me get myself situated here. How is everybody? What are we all working on tonight? Do 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 do. Okay. Wow. Sorry to hear that, Remo. Dad broke 9 ribs. Oh my goodness. Hello, Miss Mary Jane Ellinger. Hi, Jackie. Let's see. What are people saying? We are under excessive heat warning for the next 10 days. Yuck. Oh, I feel you, Jackie. Although today wasn't too bad, but yesterday was pretty darn bad, temperature-wise. I think it got up to 100. But yeah, it's coming. Summer is coming. It's typing all wrong. Sending didn't type and I apologize. Oh, okay. No problem, Kim. I'm not sewing today at all. Busy doing some other things. Okay. All right. So I am supposed to cut out 2 more pieces of this. And I will cut out another piece here. And then I'm supposed to cut a piece of this one. And which way does the, let's see, which way does it go? Okay. Just have to make sure that get the orientation correct. And this will go like that. So, and I sew this like that, I think. Hold on. Let me double check. Yep. Okay, so I will flip this over and we will sew these 2 curves together. Jackie says she is ready to sit and chill. Was working in the garage and it just got too hot. Oh, I can relate to that. Donna says she's relaxing here. I don't think I told you I got a job. You'll never guess where. I'll give you a hint. Extremely dangerous place. Huh. Extremely dangerous place. I'm thinking a quilt shop. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sewing this wrong. I'm sewing this wrong already. I got the two wrong sides together. Oh boy, I'm already ripping. It was 103. Wow, that's Jackie saying that. I I believe you're in Arizona. Okay. Well, at least I didn't get that far down, so yeah. And I totally put the wrong sides together. Or did not sew the correct. It's supposed to be right sides together, but I put right side on top of wrong side. Duh. Typical of my day today. Oh, shoot. Okay, at least I didn't go down that far, so I can still salvage it. And I caught it early enough that I didn't sew the whole seam. It would have been devastating if I sewed these two pieces completely together and then catch it. Oh boy. Okay, pay attention. Here we go. We're gonna just we'll take it slow. Okay, got it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna finger press the seam there. Oh, wow. Bingo, you're the winner. Okay, so it is a quilt shop. Linda says, I've been sewing scraps on paper for the last few days. My elder sister passed from dementia on Friday. Oh, sorry to hear that, Linda. I need something mindless to keep me busy. Oh. How old was she, Linda? I mean, I hope she had a long, full life. But it's kind of a sad way to go, though. Um, and Jackie says, yes, she's just outside of Phoenix, Chandler. Oh, Chandler. Okay. I think we have a customer down there. Okay, so I need to, what am I supposed to do with this piece? It says to save it, but I don't know what for. When it doesn't even show you what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, well then I guess it's just waste. Because I only need the outside curve. Oh, geez. Okay. So that's one. And so this one goes like that. This one goes like that. This goes like that. This will go here. So I guess this one Goes like that. Wait, is that right? If I do this, I'm going to get that piece. And then, yeah, I think that's correct. We shall see. So this will go like this. No, I think it's, well, what does the book say? Try to align upper right hand corner of the ruler. It's supposed to be the mirror image. So, okay. Well, let's square this one down. Okay, I'll trim this. So if I do it, okay, so this will be that way. Then I need this one to be on the opposite side. So I think it is this way. Wait. Yeah, we'll risk it. Okay. Because this one's gonna, yeah, that's right. The instructions don't really say. That's just discard. So this will go like that. Yeah, okay. Now I got it. Wow, instructions don't, or the pattern didn't say the orientation in terms of where this fabric needs to be. Okay. So off of there. Okay. Kimber says we had a triple digit heat index today. Wow. Donna Hoskins says there's 3 Gamma long arms, 16 footers. There's also an industrial binding machine. Wow. Takes 5 to 10 minutes to bind a queen size quilt. Ooh. That's the one aspect of quilting that I do not, well, yeah, the one aspect of quilting that I really don't care for doing. And why does this look, oh, because I got it upside down. And that is binding a quilt. So if I can do it faster, I'm all for it. Okay, so I am lining up that mark there and lining up that mark there. That looks good. So this is just a test block, kind of taking mental notes about if the pattern has an error or if there's something that I should look out for. That's why I'm just doing a test block. And since the pattern did not say, or it gave no hint as to the orientation of where the placement of this fabric needs to be when I cut my half or cut the quarter circle, mental note. Now that I know if I want the mirror images like that, I need to actually put that or be aware of which where that fabric is. So good thing I made a test block. Even if I didn't do it right this time around, hey, it's a test block. So it's not really going to matter. Now I do need one piece that is 1 by 4, I believe. Ooh, where did I put it? Okay, well, grab a piece. I will have to grab that. Now, all of these fabrics that I pulled to make this particular test block, I mean, these came from my scrap piles, and I knew I was only making a test block, so figure no sense cutting into the good stuff. Just use up your scraps to make a test so you can run through all of these steps, especially if you're unsure of the pattern, in which on this pattern I was kind of unsure of it. So they have all sorts of different size blocks, yeah, or different size squares to cut. So yeah, I wasn't quite sure, and there's a lot of discarded pieces. Like this is actually waste. So I don't know. I may do something with this now. do 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 do. Okay. Linda says her sister was 87. She has been wasting away the last few years and only weighed about 75 pounds. Oh, wow. No obituary, no services, only my memories left. Oh, sorry to hear that, Linda. Okay. Jackie says, maybe for another block in the book? Well, I could do another block, or maybe I can create another block. Yeah, don't get me started with that. And so this goes like that. That goes like that. And that goes like that. Okay. Oh, the gray box, is the gray box showing? Whoops, okay. I was kind of playing around with it, but um, I didn't realize the gray box was showing. Okay, I will hide that because I'm not actually doing anything with it. Okay, so we are sewing this, and then we have two other pieces that are here and here. Okay, so I'm going to sew these three first, then these three, sew those two together, attach the sides. That's the plan. And what's also funny is I didn't see any pressing instructions in this pattern. Of course, I didn't really read the pattern carefully, so I guess that would help. So on most of these, or on some of these seams, I pressed it over to one side. Some of these other seams, like this, I'm just going to finger press it for now. Press it to one side. And then this can go on top. Okay, so I was playing around with this new feature that this software that I use. Now we have the ability of creating a poll, and I was just kind of futzing around with it. I didn't realize it was showing, so I do apologize on that. If you were here on the live this past Saturday, I did ask the question of whether or not you wanted to, or for during these live sessions, if we should do some kind of a quilt along. And on that particular live, there was only 17 people there, and the majority of those people said that yes, they would want to do a quilt along on these live sessions. So I spent most of my Saturday while we were on the Zoom. Some of the Zoom participants were giving me suggestions as to what we can do. I did pick out a pattern, and I will talk about it more next week when I kind of get myself organized in that respect. I did pick out a pattern. I don't want to say it's a beginner friendly because I really don't know, but it looks to be. It is a paper piece pattern. You can download the pattern for free. I'll have that information next week during the live session. And it doesn't look that difficult. Now, for those of you who know me, paper piecing is not my thing, but I chose to do this pattern because, even though I don't like paper piecing, I like to challenge myself with it. So, and I just kind of pressed in a pucker, but that's okay. It's only a test block. So I said, you know what? This will be a good challenge. From the looks of it, and I did read the pattern and the instructions for it, it doesn't look that difficult, so I can tolerate it. And so if you've never paper pieced or done any kind of foundation paper piecing whatsoever, this might be a good opportunity to give it a try, because you won't be alone. there'll be a number of us probably doing this. So, all right, Kim, thank you for activating the hot topic. I believe we had this hot topic before, but we're doing it again because there wasn't a whole ton of people during that live session. So, question. What is your oldest work in progress? This quilt or this project that I'm sewing right now, I mean, it's a couple years old. This quilt is, or this quilt top is actually, I think, now going almost 2 years old now. I know it's over a year. Maybe it's approaching 2 years, but it was something that after I did this quilt, this project was actually something that I thought about when I was flipping through the book because I wanted to, well, I just wanted to make that flower quilt. So, okay, we got, this is the bottom half of it, and it's the same Drunkard's Path blocks. I don't know where my, so like there's, how do I do this? There's one block here with a curve. Let me do it this way. Okay, there. That's one. This here is the other half to this. And then this here, which is that. Whoops, sorry, that. Again, is the other half to this one here. So it's just a matter of fabric choices and the placement. So we will sew these two together. Kim says her oldest work in progress is the one I'm working on now, 18-inch embroidered rose blocks from 2001, all embroidered, sewn into rows, still have to put it all together. Wow. 2001, that makes it 24 years. Wow. No, 25 years. Quarter of a century. Hey, but at least you're getting it done, right, Kim? All right. And we will sew these two halves together. Okay. Let's do the final aha moment, the final reveal. Da 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 da. Okay, let's press this down. Okay, I can actually just press most of these seams. Well, this, I'm going to actually press this seam to one side here. Sometimes I'll press my seams open, but this one, I'm just going to press, well, yeah, I'm going to just press this one to the side. Okay, whoops. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay, this is a rather huge block here. What is it? A 15 by 20? No, 15 by 17. Wow. Okay. Very large block. In fact, I'm surprised it can fit in the camera. Sort of. Okay. Not a difficult block to do. There's a lot of pieces to it, though. But I think with different fabrics, it could be very beautiful. Again, this was kind of a questionable choice, but I went with it anyway because it was just a test block. But I don't know. I might actually use this in the actual quilt. But again, all of these fabrics just came from the scrap stash. Again, it was just a test block. So if you ever want to just try a pattern or just try making one block from the pattern, hey, just go through your scrap stash and use the scraps up before you cut into the good stuff. So Kimber says the blocks are Jack Dempsey. My parents gave me 5 packages of them for my birthday in 2001. Already made 1 quilt and 1 table runner. Hey, Trula. How you doing, girl? When it's all done, I will post a picture in the community page here. Okay, thank you, Kim. Okay. So that is what the block will look like. Now, I already have the real fabrics kind of picked out, so let me just kind of go through that for a second. These were actually leftovers from this quilt behind me. So I think I'm going to do, look at that. Wouldn't that just drive you crazy? But I don't know. I could see that being part of the flower. In fact, I already got extra pieces cut out for it. So that's going to get used. That's definitely going to get used. Ooh, look at that. Or even that. Yep, I'm definitely going to use one of these. And we could even do a blue and a purple kind of ordeal. I just need to find a background fabric. Definitely want this. 1, 2, 3, 4 of that. And we are definitely doing this. 1, 2, 3. Do I have another one? 4. And oh, yes, we have to say yes to this one. One, 2, 3, 4. I got some green here. I don't think there's enough green to make the leaves for, but I'm going to save all of those scraps for another project. Look at, maybe not for this project. Not that one, at least. Okay, one. Let's see, already got that one. There's a lot of pink left over. Oh, there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 6 blossoms altogether. So that's 1. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do you know? Aha! This blue kind of looks out of place though. But you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with these fabrics to be the actual flower there. And then I'm gonna use, if I have more of this particular green, I'm gonna use that green. Yeah, I do have a lot more of it. And I don't have any more of this gray. In fact, I was kind of piecemealing some of the parts together. So I'll choose a different background color. See if I can get some scraps thrown together. Something, I don't know. I don't want to do black. Maybe I'll just do a white or a khaki kind of color. Okay, but what do you guys think? Good color choices? Or is it horrible? Comes out really bright on camera. Actually, let me move the block out of the way so you can really see it on. We'll really do it on here. This way you can kind of really see the colors and not be distracted by. There you go. Now, where did I put the book? Oh, there it is. So, let's see. There's 6 of them altogether in the pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to use this one in the quilt after all. I may just put it in the back of the quilt. Because again, I don't have any more of this background fabric, so it would look a little weird if I have one flower with this kind of background and all the others have a different background fabric. So, although I could pick up some more, but I really don't want to. So, okay. So that is what I'm going to, well, that's the plan, at least. Very spring-like. Yep, I do like it. Okay, so I can put that aside for now. That didn't take as long as I thought it would, so yeah. So let me talk a little bit about the book again. Now, I'm not sponsored by this company, so I don't make any money off of any of this. I just like this particular product, and I like their products in general, because if you saw the video, there was a video that I did a while back on a particular quilt talking about sewing curves, and this ruler helped me kind of conquer that fear of doing curves. So again, the ruler is called the QCR Mini. There is a larger ruler. Whoops, sorry, gotta let me find something I can, yep, I can do this. Okay, so nope, that's not good. Well, let me just take these off here. So this again, the quick curve ruler, or the QCR Mini. The company that makes this ruler is called So Kind of Wonderful. And I'm hoping I can get there. So it's So Kind of Wonderful. And this book here, I mean, it has 16 projects in total where it uses this ruler to make all of these different patterns. Or there's 16 patterns in here. And they all use just this template, or yeah, template ruler. And so you can do the clamshell designs. You could do this sunflower, in which I did one of our fellow Zoomies, Treasure Heart Zoomies, or Hearty Zoomies, did this pattern, or did this quilt. I did the other one, not the bat. I modified this one, and that's the quilt behind me there. So if you're interested, you can just go to sokindofwonderful.com. They do have a website, or I believe they're also on Amazon. Now, the book, it's kind of just a paperback. I put it on this spiral, and the reason I did that is because I have actually 3 separate pattern booklets all combined into one, all from the same company, using a combination of this ruler and some of their other rulers. So, you know, if you look on their website and you want to look for this particular book, but you see that it doesn't have this spiral binding, just know that I did the spiral binding on my own, and I combined it with 2 of their other books here. And I would like to actually make this particular quilt one day. That's a someday project. And it's pretty reasonably priced. I mean, for what you can do with it. You know, for me, it was kind of a worthwhile investment. So yeah, that's the Quick Curve Mini, or the QCR Mini ruler. Again, I'm not sponsored by this company, so you know, whether you buy the product or whether you don't buy the product, I don't get anything out of it. I just wanted to share this because I know people might be interested in getting the ruler after they see, well, after I get this Tulip quilt done. So if you are interested in it, well, Just go to sokindofwonderful.com. You'll find the products. So yeah, that's my commercial. Would any Drunkard's Path template set work? That's a good question, Kim. If you can, or if you can make a 3.5-inch finished Drunkard's Path, because that's what these blocks really are, and if you can also get the outer part of it, I suppose you could. Okay. Now, their technique is very specific in that because the ruler, it not only cuts the curve, but it's also the trim down tool as well. And so all of these various markings, depending upon what pattern you're using, you use the various lines to actually trim or square up whatever unit or block that you're working on. So it's not just about cutting the curve and creating the Drunkard's Path. There are patterns in those books where, for example, you might take a 4-patch, or in this example, or in this case, I actually had to do a half square triangle. And it gives you lines on the ruler to match up your seam so that you can kind of square up the blocks or trim down the blocks and cut them down a little bit easier, I guess. So I suppose you could use a Drunkard's Path template set. You'll get a different size block, though. I will tell you that. Okay, how much is this ruler? I'm not sure. I think when I bought it, it was about $30, but that was quite a while ago, so it might be more. Well, it's probably definitely more now. If you do get the ruler, though, you might as well get the pattern booklet as well. Because, again, the pattern booklet comes with 16 patterns, all using this ruler. Now, these other booklets, some of them, or some patterns, use this ruler in combination with another ruler. So if you really want to invest in, or if you want these other booklets, yeah, you're probably going to have to get the other QCR rulers with it too. Okay. Okay. So here's the test block, and I'm going to start working on the real blocks, but we'll do that next week. Of course you need a new ruler, Kim. Of course, don't we all? Yeah, but with the versatility of this templated ruler, as well as the company, they're constantly coming up with more and more patterns using this ruler, also in combination with other rulers. So for me, it was a worthwhile investment because it just, again, there's a lot of patterns out there that the company has created. So, and it kind of got me over that fear of sewing curves. So again, a good investment. Now, there's certain rulers I will say that I have purchased and I'm like, why did I purchase this? So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where you kind of have to make a judgment call on whether or not you really need it or are you really just wasting money on it. So yeah. Hello, Zaza, the inappropriate quilter. Well, welcome in, but we're about ready to kind of call it alive here. So, yeah, here is my test block. Again, the quilt behind me also used that same ruler. So if you're interested in that ruler, just check out sokindofwonderful.com. And yeah. All right, guys. So next week I will introduce the pattern for the so long. Now the so long is just gonna we'll start it in July, and then we'll just do it all throughout the month of July. I may put posts up later on if I get through, or if I get my act together. Basically, I will probably put a post on the Facebook group as well as here on the Treasure Heart Creations community tab as to the block or the pattern that I'm going to choose to do on July as a quilt along. Again, you don't have to participate, but if you would like to participate, the pattern is free. You can just download it from a particular website, and I will share all of that information very soon. So I need to get my act together. Yes, I know. All right. Well, that is it for tonight. I know some people are coming in a little late, but you can always catch the replay. Hi, Chris. I see you there. Okay. Linda, again, prayers for Linda going through some struggles, but, well, just know that you got friends here praying for you. Okay. Are you going to add the flower blocks to the quilt on the wall? No, this quilt is pretty much done. Again, this was just a test to kind of test out the pattern to see if the pressing directions make sense, or if the things, if they got the right sizes to cut. Because on one of the other patterns, there was an incorrect size, and they did acknowledge and kind of put out a notice out there. So, yeah. Prayers for Remo's father, too. Yes, the cracked rib. Hope he recovers real soon, Remo. All right, guys, that is it for tonight. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next Tuesday, where I'll be working on the actual flower blocks or tulip blocks, and hopefully I'll get some done before then, or at least have all my pieces cut. And we'll talk more about the upcoming sew along that I will get started in July. All right, until then, guys, let's all get out there. Let's all create something. Mwah. Bye for now.